most important thing to get right about auditioning? What is the most important thing to get right, to make sure you nail about your audition, during your audition? I'm gonna tell you. The most important thing, the thing you wanna make sure you get right, is to stop trying to get anything right, is to get nothing right, is to give up getting it right. The audition is not about getting it right. It's about revealing your actual self, revealing the human condition, warts and all, your foibles, your insecurities, your vulnerabilities, the stuff you're trying to hide, that you don't want the camera to see, that you don't want the CD, the audience to see, because you think that will destroy the character, and you need to not show my nervousness or my neurosis. I need to be Admiral Johnson. And these masks we put on as actors, right? I think the idea of character is killing so many performances, killing so many auditions, because it's this mask that we're trying to hide behind. The most important thing about the audition experience is to go after one honest, spontaneous thing with that other human being. To do something actual and real, something outward directed, not inward directed, not attempting to manage thoughts and feelings, because that's not in your power, which is why when you crawl in your head during the audition, and I used to do this all the time as a young actor, and I still have a compulsion to do it. That's why I really need something specific and doable, something actual that I can keep coming back to during the audition. I need to keep coming back to the reader, to the other person. And if my action based on the intentions of that script is to comfort a loved one, and I'm comforting that loved one in a very specific way, like I would my nephew if he had a bad soccer game, because I've imperfectly made the decision that that specific action, comfort a loved one, as if my nephew had a really bad soccer game, I've imperfectly, my gut, my muse has said, I think that will match the stakes and tone of this scene, of the writer's intention, the director's intention for this scene. And I'm gonna go after that action with the reader, and it's gonna create an illusion of character. It's not my job to become a character. It's not my job to get it right. The character might say this on this line, and then I have to remember to have this much headroom, and I have to remember my eye line. And I'm not saying don't have eye lines, and don't decide what you want to do with the camera, and don't attempt to memorize your lines, and don't practice grabbing the words off the script and bringing it back. There's all sorts of other things that help create the illusion of character, but they're all secondary. Number one is do something honest, spontaneous, and real. Have a mission in that scene. Do one honest, actual thing. And that's the most important thing. Because if you do that, you're going to reveal you. You won't even realize how much of you you're revealing. But the whole thing is going to be alive and spontaneous, and in combination with what the CD and the director and the producer know about the script and those words you're saying, it's going to create an illusion of character. And how much headroom you have and all that other stuff, that stuff doesn't really matter. The mistakes, the unpredictabilities, what wants to happen. Like this lovely couple walking past me in the woods right now as I'm making this crazy video. I almost stopped it because I'm like, oh my gosh, here comes a lovely couple with their dog, and they're gonna think I'm crazy and it might be rude talking right now. But I just kept going. I just kept going. And so hopefully that makes it more thrilling, more truly interesting, not egoic interesting for you, the viewer. And it forces me to work with my own insecurities and vulnerabilities and come back to my action, doing this video, imparting something worthy, something of value to y'all. So that which hinders the task is the task. The most important thing about the audition experience is to give up getting it right, to decide, to choose imperfectly, what is the one honest thing I'm gonna do in the audition, and then go after it. And what's the second most important thing in the audition? I don't know. But but I know there's a huge gap between the most important thing and numbers 2 through 15, getting the lines word perfect, having that headroom, having a gray mauve backdrop, dressing like the character. All that stuff is secondary. The most important thing by far is having a spontaneous audition where you're actually doing something. You're actually going after something real, like that jogger. He's going after it. So I hope this makes sense. Doesn't matter what 2 through 17 is, because you can have the jogger go by during your audition, the cat can come into your room, you can be doing a self-tape and your child screams in the backdrop. But if you keep going after your action, all that broken stuff, the broken external stuff and the broken internal stuff, will help create the illusion of character. Those vulnerabilities, what everyone wants to see is a real human being struggling to do something they believe in, to do something, to go after something, not to believe there's somebody else, but to go after something they believe in, something they've decided, I'm gonna do come hell or high water. We love seeing that in life, and we love seeing it on the screen. And if there's no character to break, if you understand as an actor that the audition is a magic trick, that acting is a magic trick, that you don't have to believe you're anybody else, you don't have to spell out the story for them, you don't have to create a false arc, you just have to go after that one thing. And your actual human struggle, dealing with, oh my God, the camera tilted a little bit, the lighting's not perfect, I forgot my line, so I have to stare into the silence and keep playing the action and then just wait for the line to come. All that stuff will elevate the audition, because that's life. You can't control life. Life is spontaneous. The moment is not something that can be curated. You don't want the audition to be a series of curated moments, because that's unreality. That's not life. Life is not one moment. It's this. It's just a torrent. It's a torrent of moments that we can't control. We can just show up for. We can just act along with, act through, however you want to look at it. But the audition is not about control. The audition is not about getting it right. It's deciding what you're going to do and then entering that struggle, and everything will become part of the illusion. I promise you it will. Let it rip!